Hey there, I'm Sabrian, and I want to welcome you to the Cultivating Fruit of the Spirit podcast, where we explore practical ways to find fruitfulness in everyday life. We believe that every Christian has the potential to bear the fruit of the Spirit when we stay connected to the true vine, when we lean into our relationship with God and study His Word. So whether you're a seasoned saint or just starting out, I invite you to join us on the journey of cultivating. Let's dig in. So I want to start today's episode with just a moment of gratitude. I am really glad that you are here, and I just want to start this episode by saying thank you. Thank you for showing up every Monday, for tapping in and listening, and thank you for the messages and the comments and the reviews and just that quiet faithfulness of listening. It means so much more to me than you even know. And today's episode is a little different. There is no deep dive into the text like usual or framework with 3 steps, 4 steps, but this one I feel like is more like me inviting you to sit on the porch, because there's something that I want to share with you, something just very honest and transparent about where I am and where this podcast is going for the next couple of weeks. So get comfortable. Some of you might have noticed that over the last couple of weeks or months that the episodes have been going a little deeper, running a little longer. The exegesis has been a little more careful. The text has been more central. And I've been spending more time connecting passages rather than just landing on a quick surface read. And there's a reason for that. And I've not really talked about it openly, but I feel like this is the moment. I have been in seminary. So quietly in the background of everything that you've heard this year, I have been in a season of deep study, pursuing graduate training in biblical studies. So sitting under professors who have pushed me to handle the text more carefully, to teach from a place of proper exegesis, to go deeper than a quick devotional read and actually stay in the Word long enough to let it open up and blossom. And it has been stretching me. And this has also been one of the most demanding seasons that I've navigated alongside of everything else that life requires. But it has also been one of the most fruitful. And I believe that you, as a listener, have been experiencing the fruit of it in real time, even if you didn't know what was behind it. And I share that not really to draw attention to myself, but because what is coming next makes more sense with that particular context. What I am about to do is not quitting. It's not pulling back because things are hard or because the work is too much. It's the opposite. It's what a farmer does when she's been working the ground hard and she knows that the ground needs something before the next planting season. It is a fallow season. The name of this podcast, The Restored Orchard, has always been rooted in, agricultural imagery, right? Orchards, fruit, seasons of growth, seasons of pruning. And I think that God has a sense of humor because it is the agricultural framework of scripture that keeps giving me language for where I am. Fallow ground is land that has been plowed and prepared, but is intentionally left unplanted for a season. It's resting. It's not abandoned. It's not neglected, but it is deliberately allowed to lie quiet so that the soil can be replenished, so that what was depleted can be restored, so that the next season of planting has ground that is actually ready to receive it. And God actually instituted this practice in Israel. Leviticus 25 describes what he called the Sabbath year, right? Every seventh year, the land was to rest. No sowing or pruning or harvesting, just stillness. And the provision for that season was not the people's problem to solve. God said he would provide. The rest was not a risk. It was obedience. And it was the ground's opportunity to be restored. And then there is this thing that we call the year of Jubilee. Every 50th year, a year of release, of return, of restoration to original design. Things that had been lost were returned. Burdens that had accumulated were lifted, and the whole of it was rooted in that same conviction. God is the owner of the land, the seasons, the harvest. Rest is the presence of trust. Genesis 8:22 says, while the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease. Seed time and harvest, not seed time and immediate harvest. There is a between, a waiting, a season of quiet between what was planted and what comes up. And that in between is not empty. It's not purposeless. It's where the work is happening underground, out of sight, preparing what will eventually break through. And Isaiah 28 gives us this picture of a farmer who knows what the ground needs. It says, does he who plows for sowing plow continually? Does he continually open and harrow his ground? He is rightly instructed. His God teaches him. His God teaches him. The farmer knows when to work and when to let the ground be, because he has been taught by the one who created both the soil and the season. And that is what I am trusting right now. The same God who has been at work in this podcast, in this community, in the depth that has been growing, is the one who is calling me into this season of stillness. Not because the work is over, but because the ground needs what only rest can give it. So here's what I want you to know. This episode right here is my last episode until June the 1st. The month of May is going to be a fallow season for the Restored Orchard. I am stepping back from producing new content in order to sit at God's feet and receive fresh vision for where he wants this to go next, for what June looks like, for what July looks like, for what the second half of this year is supposed to hold. I don't want to produce content just to fill space. I never have. And right now, the most honest thing I can do is to tell you that I need to be still before I speak again. I need to let the ground rest so that what comes next comes from a place that is actually replenished. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says that there is a time for everything, a season for every activity under heaven. This is the season for stillness, for listening, for refining my ear, for asking God what he wants to birth in this next chapter before I start to build. The Restored Orchard has always been about restoration, restored, rooted, rising. And restoration requires this, the fallow season. The quiet, the letting the ground be what the ground needs to be before the next season of fruit. Now, I'm not leaving you with empty Mondays. I wouldn't do that to you. I have dropped some episodes in the show notes that I just want you to go back and listen to, right? And some of these have just been personally resonating with me in this season. And I think that they will do something for you if you sit with them. There's one in particular about finding gold in the season you're in, about the truth that, wherever God has placed your feet, there is something worth digging for. And I keep coming back to it. And I think it might be exactly what some of you might need for this stretch of time. Perhaps you need to use May the way I'm using it. Let it be a little bit of a fallow season for your own soul. Go back to what God has already said and just sit with what you've been too busy to fully receive. Or just let the things that were planted over these past months actually take root before the next wave of new comes in. And pray. Pray for fresh vision for your own life, for what God is calling you into in the seasons ahead, for a fresh word. I'll be doing the same. And I believe that when June 1st comes, we are both going to have something to bring to the table that we could have not had we not taken this pause. So I am so grateful for this community, for every woman, every person who has shown up week after week and let these conversations do something in them. For the ones who shared episodes with friends or sent me messages or caught me in person, those who have prayed for this work without me even knowing it. The Restored Orchard is not going anywhere. It is going fallow. And fallow ground, when the time comes, produces some of the richest fruit. And so I will see you all on June the 1st. And I cannot wait to tell you what God does in the quiet. Until then, you are restored, you are rooted, and you are rising. Take care. As I close, I want you to remember, cultivating is about connecting. Thanks for listening to the Cultivating Fruit of the Spirit podcast. I hope you found this episode encouraging. If you did, share it with someone. You never know how such a simple act can impact someone's life. If you're interested in learning more about the Restored Orchard, or if you'd like to get engaged with our ministry resources, please visit our website at www.therestoredorchard.org. That's all for now. Take care.